Cleaning your fish tanks. All right guys, today we're going to tackle the age-old problem of something to do this weekend with something else to do this weekend. Just kidding. Let's get right into today's video. We're going to get the whole entire room cleaned up. We'll give you a little update on our baby fish, on our shrimp. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Wabba. All right guys, so this weekend is my wife's birthday, which means I'm gonna be probably not able to do a whole lot of fish maintenance stuff. So we're gonna knock it out today. We need to get our filters swapped out. We need to get our filter fleece swapped out, and we need to do some water changes and some scrubbing. So I'm gonna bring you guys along. We're gonna knock out all of our maintenance for the week and get these tanks looking really nice and sharp. Let me show you guys what everything looks like right now. Some of the stuff you guys will get time-lapse through, so I want to give you guys an overview of what the tanks look like current state. So over here our guppy tank is full of guppies and snails, just the way we like it. Water's clean. It's been 2 weeks since we did a water change on this tank, so we're going to go ahead and water change this one. And we're probably going to scrub the glass a little bit. You can see up here where it's gotten a little kind of gunky. So we'll clean that up, bring the water level back to where it's supposed to be. Our angelfish are getting ridiculously big, ridiculously fast. Ooh, hungry. Here's our other one. And there's Ninja, our samurai beta fish. This tank needs scrubbed and it needs a water change. Because I recently stirred up the pot, I've only done one water change since then. You can see the water's a lot clearer, but the glass is contributing to how crappy that looks. You can see all the water marks and stuff. So we're gonna get that one cleaned up. This one over here with all of our, crazy species of cichlids is in desperate need of a vacuum. Look at all that crap. Now, I'm hoping for this specific tank we have a fix on the way. I have to check my email. But if we do, be looking for a video on possible wave makers. Oh yeah. All right, moving on. Earl, buddy, come over here. See the camera? I know you see the camera. Oh, you love the camera. Buddy, I think your tank needs a little cleaning too. Your grass looks a little dirty. Yusuke, goldfish, Clayco. All right, so that tank, I think we're just gonna do a water change on it. We may do some vacuuming in there. And then coming around the corner, last but not least, Frank the tank. What's up, Frank? Frank's tank needs vacuumed out and it also needs a water change. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna drain 5 tanks. We're gonna scrub a couple of them and we're gonna vacuum a couple of them. So let's knock out the first tank. Actually, let's just get all of them drained, ready for water changes. Then at that point we can scrub them, vacuum them, and then we will refill them. Yeah, perfect. I'll see you guys in just a second. I'm gonna set you up on a time lapse so you can watch the whole room get drained and my backyard get flooded. Alright, tanks are drained. All 5 of them, good to go. Still rocking this piece of crap hose from day one, because I'm cheap. I'm not cheap, I'm broke. There's a difference. What the heck? Oh gosh. Not the only crappy hose I'm dealing with. What the heck? Oh, there's a freaking heater in there, that's why. What the hell? Okay. Got our vacuum out, finally. Pick up our mess. Probably why everything's all tangled. Oh, my hose and everything came out. Okay. Alright. If any company is out there watching and wants to do a collab on some equipment for draining the water in my tanks, reach out, because my equipment sucks. But it works. Whatever. Alright. I'm up here, guys. Oh, let me grab a bucket. What the world? My phone is trying to get me copyrighted from the background. Okay, so we have our vacuum out right there. That's great, but let's start right where we started. I'll go back to the starting point, I should say.
What the hell is even that?
So we're gonna go right here, about right there. So when I clean my tanks, I have a separate rag for each tank. And I always have to remove my lids. My arms don't fit in there. Just set it off to the side real quick. And then I'm just going to dip my rag into the water, and up here where it's been dry because the water level had sunken down is where most of the gunk is at. But we will scrub all the glass just to make sure. Now on the outside of the glass, I will use whatever to clean it. I just don't spray it on the glass, I spray it onto the rag itself away from the water, and then I will clean the outside of the glass. But I'll show you guys that here in a second. We'll get to that point. Right now though, we just want to be able to see our pretty fish. We don't want any nastiness growing on the tank unnecessarily. Too much bacteria or too much moss. Anything too much of it is never a good thing. So just doing a light scrubbing like so. And you can use the same rag for the outside as well. I just squeeze out the water really good. Now hit the outside really quick, trying to get rid of any water marks I had. It's gonna have to be cleaned again unless I go behind it with a dry rag. I might have one handy, but it splashes right here from the pump, so gets all that white nastiness on the plastic. Gets it all over the lid. So yeah, pretty much just like that. I do have another dry rag here handy for the outside. We'll just hit that really quick to see. The glass does look nice enough. I'm not gonna bother cleaning it with any chemicals on the outside, because there's really no need. And it may look a little dirty at first until we get the tank completely full of water. And if that's the case, we'll come back with our magnet and we'll do the last little bit of touch up with our magnet, scrubbing it from the outside once it's full of water again. And that's pretty much it for that tank. Other than, let's check our filter, of course. And the filter looks completely roasted. So set that off to the side. Oh yeah, the goner. Dunskies. So we're gonna tap that out. It's gonna go right into our bucket. And we will grab a freshie. Boom, from our little box of magic. And I would switch this over to just sponge, but that doesn't need swapped out more than once every 2 weeks roughly, and it does a good job. So they're not very expensive. But now that that one's done, our rag that we used on that tank will also go in that bucket. And we will move on to this tank right here. That one. Just gonna go in the same order that we drained them in. Same thing, fresh rag for this tank. This tank definitely needs a scrub down. I'm just gonna move that lid over. And this one's probably gonna need a little bit more scrubbing, so I'm gonna fold that rag up a little bit. Just gonna dip it in to get it nice and wet. Help all of our snails off the wall. And we're gonna scrub the inside of this one. It's funny, I thought this one was super dirty, but the majority of it is on the outside for me working on silly projects and stuff. Like when I built that shrimp tank, I got water all over everything. So with that being said, excuse me, I almost said a bad word. I'm not against saying bad words, I just try not to say them. My son gets really mad whenever I'm cussing. So I try not to say curse words, but every once in a while, let it slip out. It's my man. All right, so a lot of that nastiness was right there on the outside of the tank. Appears to be the theme all the way around. But because it's on the outside, we could use that same dry rag for this one, or for all of them, I should say, on the outside. I don't think there'd be a problem. Nothing in my tanks is sick or anything like that. But I don't know enough to know if it's safe or not, so just not gonna do it. Now the lid right here by the filter gets super nasty with gunk because it's got sunlight and water flowing all over it all the time. So, you know, you want to keep your tank clean as well. Your lids, your lights. For now, that'll do that tank in. Nice and clean. Okay. So we have 2 tanks pretty much good to go. We need to check the filters on these 2. So this one, because I house more unique fish, and I have double filtration. Modified by yours truly. Okay, so check it out. We got some more roasted filters, which we knew that was gonna happen because we stirred it all up. Another one. This one's probably about a week and a half old, but again, I did do some work in this tank. So, it is what it is. Bucket. Nailed it. Okay, this filter. Yeah, pretty much roasted too. We're gonna go ahead and swap them both out. There's so much live bacteria in this tank, I don't have to worry about it. I know folks say don't do a water change and a filter swap in the same day. But like I always say, no rules, just consequences. I do what I know and what works for me. And I strongly suggest you do the same, because the internet is full of craziness. There are some good advice though. I mean, don't disregard it, but look it up for yourself and make sure that you're getting good information. Because I'm an idiot, as you guys all know. Okay, so that's 2 tanks, done. Just need water in those tanks. Frank, nope, not Frank, sorry. I got your name wrong, buddy. Earl Ski. So, Earl's tank, we're just doing a water swap and some cleaning. But he does need some filter work, so I'll be right back. I gotta grab his material. which I don't know why I didn't keep it in the fish room. Probably because I'm an idiot. Oh, okay, we're back. Earl needs some filter fleece. So, grab our scissors and get his filter good to go. And then we'll scrub his tank and it'll be done as well. Our prime. Okay, don't get decapitated by the ceiling fan. It's always a good idea. We're going to kill his pump. Oh yeah, we got some nastiness. We got some nastiness in here. For sure. Actually, Earl, your filter fleece doesn't even look that bad, bro. I'm gonna swap it out anyways. Because it's just been long enough. And guys, I buy this wherever I can get it the cheapest. It was on sale at the fish store when I was there the other day, so that's where I got it. But I am not trying to spend a bunch of money on things that are being like things for the filter that are throwaway items. For that very reason, they're going to get used and thrown away. It's like you don't want to spend a bunch of money on toilet paper, right? But you want toilet paper that does the job. Or if you're going to buy the expensive stuff, at least wait till it's on sale. Okay, so we got a piece of filter fleece right here cut to size to fit in Earl's filter. I don't know which way is the right way, but I always do the white side up. And I'll bring you guys over here in a second so you can see what the inside of Earl's filter looks like and how I have it layered up in here. Okay, well, actually, nope. We're gonna remove a section of Earl's pump. This piece right here is what distributes the water inside of Earl's filter, and it's pretty clogged. So let me go clean that out real fast. We're just gonna use warm water to rinse it out. Yeah, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I wonder if, let's run his pump without it and see if we have a clog at the actual pump. Okay, that seems far more likely. All right, we got more work to do right here than we thought. This is exactly why you want to do your maintenance on a regular basis, so you can find these things and make the corrective action immediately. So, without further ado, we gotta dive a little deeper into Earl's tank. That's just a screen because Earl's a jumper. But I suspect the front here of Earl's pump is probably clogged. I don't remember if I kept the sponge on it or not. Oh yeah. That would be exactly why the filter isn't working. You see there, the sponge is completely clogged. We don't house any small fish in here, so we are going to remove that. Get this guy back on there. Now I bet you we have a crazy amount of flow. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so we're getting a ton of flow like we want. Much, much better. You can see the increased amount of water coming out of the pumps right here, which for some reason I had one of them off. Let's get them both on. Let me show you what's inside of Earl's tank, or his filter anyways. Okay, so thought we had a clog up here in this line. Turns out it was the sponge that I had on the front of that, which I kept the sponges on when the fish were really small, but the fish are no longer small, so we don't need to have a sponge there. Here we have black sponge. It's about that thick. Then we have our layer of filter fleece right above there. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the water gets distributed along those holes and then just put out here. Now if this tank ever overflows, I have an indicator right here to tell me that it's reached that level. But 9 times out of 10, I have an overflow I installed right here, so that way it can just bypass to the second level and evacuate out the tank. So it's very important to do your maintenance if you have an overflow like this, because the tank's never going to tell you that it's clogged, just like you saw right there. So regular maintenance, important, guys. If you're going to keep your fish and keep them healthy, got to put it in the background work. So now we got Frank. Nope, not Frank. God, I keep calling you Frank, Earl. What the heck, bro? Now we got Earl. Good to go. Hopefully he doesn't bite me, because he sometimes gets a little upset that I'm in the tank. But we're gonna give Earl a good old scrub down too. Nice old scrub down. All my tanks stay pretty clean, but I do regular maintenance. Constantly in my room, watching for stuff. I'm in here filming constantly for YouTube. So I get a lot of time with my fish, which is a luxury I know everybody doesn't have. So I just encourage you guys, if you have maintenance to do, like this weekend is my wife's birthday. I'm not gonna be able to spend time in here. Take the little bit of time beforehand to do it. I think it's better to swap the tanks out early than late. So that's just my opinion. Y'all do you. This is just a look at how I do things. So everybody, if you needed any guidance on this step whatsoever, you get to see it all right here. It's all the MTFR stuff we're doing. But here we're gonna, on the next tank, you guys will get to see, we're gonna do a little bit of vacuuming. And then I'll time lapse everybody through filling up the water. And we'll get back to a nice, clean, polished up fish room that we can enjoy for another week or so. 2 weeks maybe. Oh yeah. Looking much, much, much better. So there's our wet rag that we had from inside the tank, and then this is just the dry rag that we're following up with. It does still look a little gunky right there, so I'm just gonna hit it one more time. Okay, so that tank is pretty much good to go and ready to be filled up with water. So put our screen back so we don't have to worry about Earl trying to jump while we are working on the 125 gallon tank, which is right behind you guys. Because that one also needs some work on the filter. but we're gonna save that one for last. Next, we gotta go over here and see Frank the tank. Okay, so Frank's tank is a little bit different because Frank will literally bite your finger off. He's a heck of a good fish. And by good fish, I mean Mother Nature made him a pure predator. He likes meat. And he likes things that move, like my fingers. So, I try not to stick my fingers in Frank's tank as much as possible. But this first step, we gotta vacuum out all his gunk from his eating frenzies. So, step one is going to be the vacuum. You guys can see the vacuum in there, which is an absolute pain in the butt to use sometimes around his plants that he insists on pushing right here. I think he just likes to give me a hard time. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're gonna turn that guy on and just suck up all the stuff that we can out of this. Okay, there we go. Lost suction for a second. That's okay. Get it back. All right, once you get done vacuuming, you gotta lift the vacuum out because you created a siphon. And if you don't lift the vacuum out, it's just gonna continue to drain into your bucket. Lift the hose out, make sure you got air. Let everything drain back a little bit, just like that. Mostly vacuumed. Mostly vacuumed. Say that lightly because mostly and all the way are not the same thing. So we're gonna set that right there, like so. Make sure we get all the water out of our bucket. I don't even think I'm on camera at the moment. But essentially, here's everything that got vacuumed out of the tank. Now, we drain it. Okay, so now the fun part, scrubbing Frank's tank. So again, we have a rag right here. We're gonna move this chair out of our way. We'll need that here in a second. Piece of plastic stuck on there. As long as he stays in his little cave, we can clean. Sometimes he's curious, sometimes he's just annoyed. That's Frank for you. You never know. Him and Earl, man, they got such fun personalities. And we do officially have a name for our Livingstone. I'll tell you guys about that when we get over to him. It's just like nastiness that grows on the walls. Frank's annoyed today. It's good for us. Get some cleaning done. Ouch. Arm don't quite fit in there. Call that good. And then, where's my dry towel? Little elbow grease. My towel's starting to feel a little damp. It's not as dry as it was. All right. It's funny though, I never even think about the fact, like, you guys are gonna see, I don't know how much, maybe 30 minutes worth of footage. But I've been in this room for hours. And we're only like halfway done. So, that's what it takes. Takes what it takes. All right, we're good to go. Frank the tank. He's got a fresh, clean start for the week. Show you guys. Last but not least, We're gonna open them up. That filter looks pretty done for. That one will have to go into our bucket. Okay. Number 2 filter. Oh, number 2 filter is still good to go. And this one, we only have live rock for bacteria, so we don't have to worry about that, but we do double up the filters on his one HOB. Whoops, just dropped the Rick and Morty glass. So just like that, we install that second one right there. And I probably am going a little overboard everywhere as far as filtration, but Frank's happy. Look at Frank. He's like, get out of my freaking tank. Okay, let's move over to the 125 gallon tank. And let's get this one knocked out. If I can work my camera equipment. There we go. Okay. So just a little bit of a mess in there that I want to vacuum out. Just don't want that. I don't want all that material going into the new filter fleece, essentially. So, and the one thing we'll do that saves us on this tank specifically is we have 2 75-gallon sponge filters in there that we won't be swapping out today. We're only going to be working on the tank itself and the upscale Timu filter right up there. That one. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get this guy vacuumed out real quick. Guys, don't forget to put the hose in the bucket. I've done that a few times. See that hose? I forgot to put it in the bucket one time. I pressed the on button, started vacuuming, and flooded my room. But I've flooded my room many times, so it's not a big deal. If you're a shampoo company and you need somebody to test out a good shampooer, give me a call. Email in the description down below. All right, let's get to it. The vacuum. Dun, 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 dun. Ready to see some fish squirm? Big worm. Okay. And we're off to the races, sucking up gunkiness. Just trying to get all the big pieces of poop out. Any leftover fish food. Anything that can create toxic environment, ammonia spikes, bacteria that we don't want growing. All bad stuff can come from just not getting it out. Because in the wild, you would have plants in the soil and turning water and things that would help eliminate it, right? Plants that would eat it. In Jared's fish tank, we ain't got none of that. We got fake plants and big fish. So that means we gotta do some vacuuming. Which isn't that bad. This again is a Timu special. Works like a absolute champ at cleaning out gunk. And I love this vacuum because it vacuums really good. Just trying to get all the way back there. As far as we can see. Shirley, get out the way. Need to get behind this big old rock. Yep. Man, some of the Plecos just leave big old freaking gnarly turds. Okay. Oh, and that's gonna go right into there. This hose, gonna go with it. All right. That's vacuuming. All right. Now we need to scrub this guy too. So, I'm a little guy. I'm not very tall. And I don't want to get my head cut off, so let's stop the ceiling fan. Let's grab our new rag for this tank. And let's get to scrubbing down the big guy. There are other ways. I mean, you could get a big magnet. You don't have to be so hands-on if you don't want to be. It's just my preferred method for cleaning. I like to get up close and personal so I can see everything. Make sure everything's functioning correctly. And somewhat of a bird's eye view of the tank. Just getting that slime buildup off of the walls. Probably ruining another watch in the process. Guys, if you're gonna collect watches, don't be a fish keeper. Just saying. I always wear a different watch. There's some guys wear different hats to match, shoes, whatever. I guess my thing is watches. I like to know what time it is. I hate being late. I'm kind of a watch guy. But after I became a fish guy, whew, my watches are suffering. Poor watches. All right, same thing, a wet rag that we used on the inside of the tank to wipe the outside of the glass. And yes, we did not get everything vacuumed out, but we just wanted to get the majority of it to give our filter a break so our filter isn't having to try so hard right off the bat. And now the fish have been in a reduced amount of water for a significant amount of time. Yes. Is that gonna hurt them? No. Heaters are still on, pumps are still on, water's still flowing, fish are in good shape. There's nothing wrong with taking your time and getting your fish room situated. You don't have to be in like such a rush. It's not gonna hurt. Just take your time a little bit. See, like there was another spot on the inside. I thought it was on the outside. Just gonna take some time and get back in there and clean it. And I love how nice it looks after it gets cleaned. Just, it's a beautiful, beautiful tank. I bought this tank off Facebook Marketplace from a gentleman for $100 when I first started fish keeping. The guy was super nice. If you ever watch my videos, bro, I absolutely love the tank. He resealed it and never got a chance to do anything with it. Just sat in his garage. It does have a chip in it, but it doesn't affect it. So bro, when you resealed it, you did a great job. This tank has been awesome. Okay, so let's get this filter right here. Ooh, that one. And see what we got on the inside. It's gonna need some filter fleece for sure. So we'll go ahead and take our lid, like so. Grab our filter fleece. And we could probably get away with that. Because of the overflow, it doesn't have to be the full length. And I try and use as much of the filter fleece as possible. In terms of like cutting pieces out of it, try and get as many full pieces as you can. So let's take a look up top, see what we got. Oh, hey, I ran out of filter fleece, so all we have in there is sponge. That's awesome. Looks exactly the same as Earl's tank. It's got a sponge and then filter fleece on our top of the sponge. We do have a significant amount of algae growth. All right, I do have one complaint about my camera equipment. I'm gonna vent to you guys real quick. I just lost some footage on the filter itself. I'm gonna refilm it and show you guys right now real quick. It's super simple, it's whatever. But DJI Action 5 Pro camera costs you like $700, comes with 50 gigs of internal memory, which doesn't last very long. But if you run out of that memory, it doesn't auto switch to the storage. I don't know why, that's kind of dumb to me. If there's backup storage, why not use it? I gotta lose footage, go back in there, change the settings to use the internal storage. So I'm not gonna use the internal storage ever again. That's driving me crazy. Anyways, Sorry to vent. Had to add that in there. Let's look at what we got. So, all clean, all fresh. Got sponge on bottom, filter fleece on top, and then there's 2 different types of rock in there for live media. Shoo! Okay, guys. Let's start filling these tanks up, and we're gonna start back where we started at the beginning, or go back to the beginning, whatever, I can't talk. It's still early in the morning. I gotta get this done though. Shoo! Let's get a hose, and let's get some water. All right, so you guys have seen the 125 fill up many a times, and we'll get right back to that here in just a second. But while that's filling on up, let's take a look at some of the other tanks that we're not doing maintenance on today. So right here is our shrimp tank where we put our mono shrimp. Starting to get a lot more of the grass growing through. You can see it hopefully on camera, but yeah, grass is doing good. I don't know if you can see that shrimp back there on the filter, but shrimp are doing good. They're huge. There's one down there. So here soon I think we need to swap this tank over to saltwater, try and shoot for that 1.2 salinity level, and get ourselves some breeding shrimp. All right, that's one tank. Oh, weird noises outside. Okay, now let's take a look at our babies. They're all right there, swimming around, hanging out with Dad. So the big guy right there on your right is the male. That's them doing their thing. Okay. Whew. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so you got to see 5 of the tanks get swapped out, cleaned, did some vacuuming. The 125 gallon tank is right behind me filling up right now. Wanted to just say thanks again, guys, for watching. I absolutely love making these videos. I love working in this fish room. I love building weird, stupid stuff like a giant fish tank. So just thanks for watching, guys. I can't thank you enough. 418 subscribers, excuse me, as of the posting of this video, or the recording, I should say, of this video. And this video is just to show you guys, it takes a lot of work to do the fish stuff. It takes a lot of work to incorporate filming into that. So it just means a lot to me that you guys are out there watching, putting me on your TVs and on your cell phones and let me entertain you. Episode 9 did release today for My Tiny Warehouse, so be looking out for that. And I don't know what's to come. I love giving away free stuff, and I'm not a rich guy, so you know, the hats is where I'm at. I've made some stickers. They're on the way. And I was thinking, what about what if we did like a starter kit giveaway? What if we did like a 10-gallon and everything you would need, including a little bit of MTFR merch, in a pack as like a, you know, like a giveaway box or something like that. If you guys think that'd be cool, if you guys would be interested in winning a 10-gallon tank with everything you need, and I'm talking about, you know, we'll put in some water strips to test the water. We'll put in some prime or some API to dechlorinate the water. We'll put some chemicals in there for the algae. Everything that you're gonna need, some salt for your aquarium, all in a 10-gallon tank. And yeah, we could put something together like that. Let me know, drop a comment down below if you guys think a 10-gallon giveaway would be pretty cool. All you need to start your own little fish tank, fish room, whatever you want to call it. And then you guys would just have to go to the store and pick out your own fish. If that's something you guys think I should do, drop a comment. You know, you guys have been engaging with me a lot more, and I super appreciate that. I do want to announce, hold on, I gotta look up his name. My bad, I'm not prepared. It's like first grade all over again when the teacher tells you to get your paper and pencil out, and you're like, what paper or pencil? But let's see here. Where was it? Dun, dun, dun.
Fish room update.
Okay, so Simon Tessero SD commented that he thinks that the Livingstone right behind me, his name should be Dr. Livingstone, aka Dr. Livingstone. So I tagged the comment. Thank you so much for dropping a comment. And now this fish right behind me, the Livingstone, will forever be known as aka Dr. Livingstone. Haha. So guys, drop some comments. I engage with everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, please. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, or else I am SOL. And I'm returning back to work here soon, hopefully on the 5th of next month. So I really need this to go somewhere, so that way I can keep dedicating time to it. Yeah. So we'll see you guys on the next one. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right here, and right here is all our fish room shenanigans. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.